Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Choosing Beggars. Story 1. Dear Santa, a brand new refrigerator please. This is from a free cycle group. Yes, they are still around. Secret Santa request, for new in-home room doors and etc. We are in need for new room doors. White or modern style. The kids' room's doors frames are split and won't close. The bathroom door is broke and won't close. The brackets broke and would split. We are asking for 4 doors for the holidays if possible. I should shoot for the stars. Request 1, 4 in-house doors modern style request. 2, an stainless steel electronic stove. Request 3, a new stainless steel refrigerator. Story 2. $10 an hour for 10 years experience. This posting has been up for over 30 days. I wonder why. Story 3. Influencers are the purest form of CB in nature. I had an influencer come into the tattoo shop I used to work at who subsequently led to my being fired. We had a first come first serve system with piercings and she demanded to be put in the front of the queue because she was busy. I tried to explain to her that it wasn't worth waiting in line to speak with a piercer because he was going to tell her the same thing I was. She wanted to get her belly button piercing bar shortened after only 3 days for a photo shoot, but this can be extremely damaging to the healing process. She threw a literal tantrum and stormed off. An hour later, I get a call from my boss asking me why someone with 10 million Instagram followers is blowing up the shop for having the worst customer service and to never go to the shop. I lost my job because an influencer didn't want to be treated like us common folk and wait in a line. She cost me my livelihood in one of the hardest career markets to get into. Side note, influencers look nothing like their IG photos in real life. Edit, to everyone telling me I should call her out, this happened a year ago and I honestly couldn't pick this woman out of a lineup. I don't remember her name or anything, just that she was a Russian influencer with long brown hair living in Los Angeles. Do with that what you will. Her name might have started with an A, but that's really all I recall. Story 4. My friend wanted more pretzels. I was going on campus to meet 2 friends to study. I heard that Wetzel's Pretzels was having free pretzels that day and I had just eaten, but I decided to get some for my friends who hadn't. I walked out of my way in the hot sun to get the pretzels, but then I realized I could only get 1 plain pretzel per person. I got it thinking it would still be an okay snack for them, but when I showed up with it my friend said I wanted more. This particular friend always asks for a lot of stuff. Edit, I thought to post this here BC after he said that I was a bit incredulous, so I said beggars can't be choosers. I said it in a joking tone, but I think my point got across. Story 5. Choosing beggars, or am I the A? Not sure if this is a CB or ADA. The choosing beggars were my parents and the A could be me. I migrated to the US as a work transfer with a big tech company. When my parents were in the home country I used to send them $500 a month for their support. They had their own fully paid house and used the money to do whatever. I didn't care for what because it's their money, as far as I am concerned. My 4 other older siblings would sometimes give, sometimes not. For special occasions like birthdays, Christmas, or emergencies I would give $1,000. I would sometimes pay their plane fare to visit me for months and we would take vacations in the usual US tourist destinations. Everything was fine, until they asked me to petition them. So I did. I had to upgrade to give them their own room. When they got here they started telling everyone back home that now they are Americans they would support so many of my relatives like I did them. They got simple jobs and everything that they got went into showing people that they made it. I asked them why is it that they are not saving for anything that they want to indulge in, and they said THA is my responsibility. I asked why in the home country they would receive from my siblings but now they give to them and to others too. And the answer was since I brought them here, that they should be under no more obligation to do so since I took them away. And basically, they said that if they were living back home that, in the same way, I won't be financially responsible for them. I reminded them that back then, I would send them $8,000 minimum each, and paid for Heath expenses too. It was fine for a while, I could afford it, until I got laid off and had to find a job. I had savings but could no longer indulge them like before, and so they started complaining that they could not send money to relatives anymore because they have to pay for their own wants. I did not realize it then, but they even told me that they came to the US not because I made it happen but because of good karma that they earned in life, and they feel the need to share their good fortune, just not to me when I needed them to temporarily be less profligate. I took contracting jobs and even worked 2 temps to stretch my savings. I asked my siblings to give them money for their wants, but I got the same answer: they are with you. You pay. What happened was that the only job that I can get was in Austin. They wouldn't want to move with me because they have been to TX and CA is better. Fine, I said, I would pay for your rent, utilities, and living expenses, but your other expenses are your own. You may have to reduce your remittances home. It was fine, I could afford it. But they downgraded their living space so that they can send the extra home. I didn't mind. They can live as they choose. It's their money as far as I am concerned. It turned bad for them when the people back home ramped up their requests: someone looking for a job, someone getting married, someone always needs something. They tried to get me to pay for their charity, but I told them no. They can't make themselves look good by breaking my budget, especially since I needed to rebuild my emergency fund. In a huff, they told me that they decided to go home because they say they are wasting their time being in the US if they can't help our poorer relatives. My response was, they should be enjoying their old age and not be everyone's piggy bank. And they can give, but they can't promise people money that they don't have and that my rich son will take care of it. I am not that rich. I give to them generously because I want them to have a comparatively easier life. But it seems that my inability to give not just to them but to other people for any reason makes them look bad. And it is my fault. So they went home, and remembering what they told me, I told them and my siblings that since they are no longer in US soil, that they are no longer my financial responsibility. They protested that I should still send them the equivalent of the rent payments and allowances, but I stayed firm. I still said they get birthday and Christmas gifts for $1,000 each and healthcare expenses, but that is it. Eventually the leeches that asked them for money stopped, and they are no longer invited in every wedding and occasions because of expected gifts. And my siblings had to pony up for their allowances, and they had to start dipping into their accumulated pensions that got banked while they were in the US. Fast forward a couple of years, they asked me again to pay for airfares so they can come visit. I said no. Been there, done that. Learned my lesson. The thing is, in our culture we are expected to take care of our parents in their old age. And so, even though I no longer give them monthly stipends, I raised their birthday gifts so that what I would have sent every month was sent as a whole lump sum. Now I get to be the star that they are thankful for sending so much on their birthday compared to me siblings who can only afford to split dinner. And I make sure that they thank me on our FB group every time, so the people back home who talk behind my back about me abandoning my parents shut up. I once asked an aunt how much her son gives every year and retorted that it's 1/100 of what I give mine, especially with the high FX rate. Now when I visit home, all my parents and relatives talk about is coming to visit. And my answer? As long as you can afford the airplane fare, you can come visit me. Many have taken me up on the offer since. But none were the moochers of my parents. And since my parents still refuse to use the gifts I sent them to pay for their own fare, expecting me to shell out extra, they have not been back either. You see, in my mind, if they pay for their fare, they can't claim that I took them away from the home country and I am solely responsible for everything again. So is this Ida or is it CB? Story 6. All cash bro. Another Facebook Marketplace story. I know this is my fault. Swim in trash, expect to get dirty. The convenience is a drug. Anyways, selling my Camry. It was fully loaded but had a crack windshield and lot of miles. Most on Marketplace were $14,000 to $15,000, so I just put mine 10K to account for the windshield and miles. Gotten a few offers for $9,000. Holding out for at least $9,500. Here comes CB. CB, is it available? Me, yes it is. CB, I can pay all cash. Me, great. When do you want to see the car? CB, what your best offer? Me, the list price is what I'm looking for, but if you have an offer in mind, I'm open to offers. CB, you tell me, I'm all cash. Me, thank you, but I'm looking for my list price. CB, all cash bro. Me, this isn't a dealership, it is a private sale, everyone pays cash sir. CB, enjoy the 1 star, you lost a sale. Story 7. Servers complaining about getting paid $30 hour and having to claim all earned income on their taxes since most chose not to claim all of their tips. Thoughts on this? Story 8. Beggar asked for more when I gave him all my change. I was stood outside a shop with my friend's dog when a guy approached and started stroking the dog. He looked up at me and said, "Do you have any spare change please miss?" So I gave him the change I had in my pocket, which was about 3. He put it in his pocket and said, "Do you have any notes?" Notes meaning paper money. I said, "Sorry, that's all I have." Then he tugged at me and walked away. Story 9. CB wants it all. Last year I grew more plants than I'm legally allowed. These were random seeds of many different strains. I had maybe 20 or so seedlings I didn't plan on keeping, so offered them free on Nextdoor. Most people were cool, but this one, caramba. Wanted to know what strain they were. I dunno. Wanted to know if they were female, their seedlings, I dunno. Then laid down a "Can you deliver them? I have no car and I'm disabled" line. At this point I am very tired of this person. No, I can't deliver them, I ride a motorcycle. Why'd you even bother to respond if you can't even pick them up? Everyone else not only didn't bitch about strains, they all took at least 3 plants to get a female, and they picked them up all by themselves. I just despise dealing with choosing beggars. Story 10. A 30K vehicle for 3K isn't too much to ask, is it? But he's local. Story 11. Parent throws a fit over free summer school lunch rules. For anyone that thinks this post may seem familiar, I've posted before about coveted lunch programs that I operated while working for the school district. Well, being back to normal, we've switched from lunch to every child without question, back to official USDA summer lunch program. This means that children must be present, and must eat at the site. Understandably, we've had some adjustment issues from the parents that are used to the grab-and-go style we've had for the past couple years. Today, about halfway into our serving time, a mother comes up and says that she had to pull her daughter out of summer school due to injury and was on her way to get medical attention, but the daughter never got lunch. While there seems to be very little wiggle room at my level with the USDA regulations, I'm not going to be the one to tell one of our students that she can't eat because she got hurt while in the school's care. So I call my boss, who tells me to go ahead and hand it out, and she'll take responsibility for any policy infractions. Of course, a father notices her leave, and confronts me about making him follow rules and letting her walk off. Of course, I try to explain to him that my boss told me to do it because her kid had a medical emergency. He doesn't want to hear it, and immediately starts berating me and talking shit with his daughter right there. Even after I tell him I can't hear him over the AC, generator, and fans, he continues shouting at me about having to eat on site. I just thought it was ridiculous that this man wanted to get angry, not only over rules for free food, but about a child being allowed an exception over an injury. Edit: to clarify, I operate a remote site that hands out summer lunch. We only have 2 summer school locations, but have 5 different sites where we hand out summer lunch. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.